Hey, hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this Python commonly asked coding interview question series, today let's discuss about how to write contents to a text file. Okay, so in our previous video we discussed about how to read contents from a text file. Continuing with that series, we'll discuss about how to write contents to a text file. Okay, again this is also very common popular question. Now in general people might ask how to write contents to a text file. Most of the cases people might combine both the questions, how to read and write contents from and to a text file. Okay, so in this video we'll discuss about how to write content to a text file. Okay, so there are two approaches. Okay, one is by using write method. There's a method called write. There is another method called writelines. Okay, these are inbuilt methods that is available in Python which can be used to write contents into a file. Okay, we'll discuss both these approaches one by one with example. All right, so first we need to open a file, right? With open. For demo purpose, what I did is I already created a file. I created an empty file called python write. So you can see this file is currently empty, so I'm planning to write into this particular file. All right, so let me copy the path. What is the name of the file? Python write. Now if the file exists, all right, if the file exists, it will try to find the file in the path provided and try to write inside it. In case if the file does not exist, the open method will create a new file for you in the location specified. Right, so now in this example I have my file already present. And coming to the key point, one thing which is really important to notice, so whenever you are trying to write into a file, you generally use W mode, okay, which means into write mode. Okay, so this is something you need to note every time. Okay, so this is very important. In our earlier example we saw we give R for reading, W for writing. There are like other there are other modes too. We'll discuss about those in our upcoming videos, right? So as F, right, with open I am providing the file path as F, and then I'm simply using file dot F dot write method. Okay, all I need to do is I need to provide some string. So difference between write and writeline is write will copy the string. Basically write will take the string from this particular it will take the string text from the information provided here and write it into your file, whereas writelines is used to work with list of strings. Okay, the write is just strings, writelines is list of strings. Okay, so with write, let me say Python programming. I'm just trying to give some very basic text. So now if I run this, yeah, now my process finished with exit code 0. Now if I go to the path and open my file Python write, yeah, you can see my string, my text is written into my Python write file. Okay, so this is how you can use a write method to write into any text file. All right, so this is a very basic example. Again you can use a write lines method also. So there is a write lines method. If you write it just Python programming, I'm just trying to append some random text. So now if I run this, now if I go and open the Python write file, you can see 1 to 3 is added here. So Python programming 1 to 3. All right, so this is how you can use Python write and write lines to add a single text or a string which can be hard coded here. Okay, so this is a very basic form, but in general no write lines you will use for list of strings. Okay, so we'll try how we can work with list of strings. Okay, so say we have something called list of strings. Say we have a list and I'm providing few text, say first I have as Python programming, one Python programming, and another text, let it be like an IT professional. Right, so we have multiple strings here, right? In those kind of situations, what you can do is if you want to use write, all right, so in case if you want to use write, right, so with when you want to work with a list of strings by using write method, you need to go with the traditional for loop. All right, so here I'm going to use a for loop for line in list of strings, right? For line in list of strings, f dot write, I need to pass on the line. Now if I run this, see, now it ran successfully. In case for no, just for let me remove this, I will comment it. Okay, now I'm going to use the generic f dot write method which we ran earlier. Now if I run this, you can see it will throw some error. It will, okay, list of strings. If I provide list of strings here, because it will say is write argument must be string, not list, because write will accept only one argument. Okay, in case if I provided two strings here, say if I have hard coded these two strings here, right, it will tell it will take only one argument, whereas you have given two arguments. Okay, so with write you can provide only one argument. That is something important to remember. You will be able to provide only one string. Okay, so now I'm going to remove this and uncomment my code back. Right, now if I run this, you can see we can use this piece of code to write list of strings into my file. Now if I go into here, so now I can see Python programming and IT professional. Both the strings are now written into my text file. You can see now it is not intended properly. In case if you want to intend it properly, you can add a /n. Finally, you can add something like f dot write. You can add a /n character. Now if I go and look into my file, you can see it is intended in the next line, so it comes in the next line. Okay, this way you can work with multiple strings. All right, and continuing, so now we saw how we can use write method to write a list of strings, but this is not much effective. Okay, because if your string is quite large, if you have very high multiple amount of strings, then writing a traditional for loop, looping through each and every item in your list is not much effective. Okay, so in general, whenever you work with the list of strings, what you do is you go for writelines method directly. Okay, f dot writelines. Right, now I need to provide the list of strings here. Okay, so I will just add some random text again here, a new string, say 1 2 3 4. Right, now if I run this, you can see now my program ran successfully. If I open this, you can see Python programming and IT professional and 1 2 3 4 added. Right, so this way you can add multiple string using writelines method. The only difference is write is used to work with single string, whereas writelines is used to work with list of string. Okay, so this way you can write into any text file. Okay, so I hope you understood how to work with text files. How do you write into text files using write and writeline. Right, Okay guys, that's all what I want to cover as part of this video. In case if you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you.